Okay, 1.17 has just been released. This means I have a bunch of crazy new stuff to test out, and I might even be updating my One Chunk World to actually have this. Okay, so in this video I'll be testing out a bunch of new features they have introduced. Okay, so the first thing I want to check out is the Dripstone Caves. Okay, so for the Dripstone Caves, there will be 3 different ways Dripstone pillars can spawn. So they can spawn on a Dripstone block, facing upwards, facing down, or they join at the middle. I'll show you a little example here. So as you can see, it's all linked up there. When you break Dripstone, like I'll just break this here. Oh, okay, when you break Dripstone, the entire thing will fall and then hit anything below it, like a player or mob, and it will do damage to them. Also, if for some reason you want to know how many blocks you die from fall damage and die, so if you want to use it in like traps or stuff, it'll take you 13. It'll take you 13 blocks to completely die when falling onto a stalagmite. If you only want to take out half your health bar, you only have to jump 9 blocks to take out half your health bar. I don't know why I did this. It's pretty specific, but I did it. Okay. A glitch I have found with the 1.17 update is if I see these candles behind here, like when I break this glass, so these are actually lit. It's that when I put glass in front of them, they become unlit for some reason. I don't know why that is. They still produce light, but you just can't see the animation. Another fact about stalagmites, they can either be waterlogged or not, it doesn't really matter. If you just jump on a stalagmite like I do now, you take damage, sort of like when you walk into a cactus. So each time this will do half a heart of your health bar. So not too lethal, but if you were falling from literally like any height like this, you will almost certainly die. Okay, so something else with these stalagmites or dripstones is if we head down into underground. Okay, so I found some naturally forming stalagmites down here, except for some reason when I type in locate biome dripstone cave, nothing happens. It'll come up with a message in like 10 seconds from now, which will say we can't find any biomes in this world. So I've no idea. I'm pretty sure they might add it in part 2 or later releases of this update, but for now nothing seems to have changed there. Also, I believe they have cut out the negative 64, like the extra negative 64 blocks you would get in the snapshots, so that should be moved to part 2 or reintroduced in a later release. So the next thing I want to look into is the new Lush Caves biome. So as well as the Dripstone Caves, it doesn't seem to be added into the game yet. I don't know why that is. It could just be a glitch, or it might be added in the second part. I have no idea. I should probably look into this. But you can still summon in everything, like you can spawn in a tree, an azalea tree. There's also this moss carpet. If you're ever looking to like build in a desert or savanna, you can place down moss and it will not change colour. Same with azalea trees. The leaves will not change colour to adjust for the biome. So if you want to make your desert or savanna biome look good, then I would suggest putting this in here. And more things about the Lush Caves biome, or just the lush area like the moss blocks and stuff. So these are actually saplings. If I grab some bone meal and apply it to this sapling down here, it for some reason also turns into a flowering azalea, and flowering azalea obviously turns into a flowering azalea tree. But I would assume the non-flowering azalea would just turn into a normal tree, but it apparently doesn't. Okay, so we have glowberries. Glowberries are a pretty mediocre food source. So at the moment, I'm pretty sure these only give you one bit of hunger, one bit of your hunger bar back every time you eat one. So they are a horrible food source, but they only need one bit of bone meal to grow. These big drip leaves sag down if you stand on them for too long. These would be great for traps, parkour, really a lot of things, including mob farms. So these will be extremely valued by the community, I assume. Also, a glitch with the moss block is in an earlier snapshot. If you were to place it down and bone meal it, it would destroy bedrock. So I'm glad they fixed that now, but for some reason now you cannot use it to convert deep slate into moss. I'm assuming it only works with stone and like dirt now. Let's move on to the powdered snow block. So the powdered snow block has a very new ability. If you were to go stand in it for too long, as you can see in the corner of my screen, these ice particles start showing up, meaning I'm going to freeze. So if I switch into survival, as you can see my hearts have turned light blue and I'm taking damage. Also I have slowness because these skeletons are shooting me through blocks. So almost everything... Oh, there's a skeleton in the boat. Okay. So almost everything is way down or falls through these powdered snow blocks. These will also be great for traps, like a lot of other things in this update. The only way to succumb falling into these is to put on some leather boots. You now should not sink through, and I get a new achievement called Light as a Rabbit. If you were to hold shift though, you will start to sink through. So it'd be a great idea if you see a snow themed base, or if you're in a snowy mountain biome, you might want to chuck on some leather boots so you don't suffocate or freeze to death. So one of the new farms we can use the powdered snow block for is to make a stray farm. So strays are practically exactly like skeletons, except their loot table is a whole lot better. Like they will drop bows more of the time, they'll drop even more bones, and they'll drop slowness arrows. Also, if you manipulate the game mechanics, sometimes, I forgot how you did this, but I'm pretty sure if you bring them into the nether, they will convert into wither skeletons. Like their drops will convert into wither skeletons. Let's move on to the goats. So goats are, well, they've been heavily advertised. They're like the mascot of the 1.17 update. So goats, they should try ram me. They should kill me. I guess they just don't want to. Okay, these goats really don't want to ram me. Okay, so there is a new special goat that has been introduced. This is called a screaming goat. So if you can hear it, it'll just scream randomly. So I believe it's a 1 in 25 chance that a goat will spawn as a screaming goat. I think it's just to add more atmosphere to the game and seen as a little reward for exploring around your world enough, you will find a screaming goat. So if we venture to the oceans, we will find 2 new mobs. The glow squids, which have all despawned, and axolotls. So there are 4 different variants of axolotl. They all are the same. You breed axolotls with fish, and these are basically used as a meat shield against guardians. So I will summon in a guardian. So yeah, I've summoned a guardian, and these should start attacking. When an axolotl takes damage, a lot of the time, like this guy here, they'll pretend to play dead as to not get attacked by any mobs. As you can see, if you have enough axolotls, they can easily take down a guardian. Okay, so let's check in on the glow squids. So being the mob that people voted in, it's very underwhelming. All it really does is exactly what the squid does. It doesn't glow. Like, there's no luminescence coming off of this squid right here. The only interesting thing is, when you punch it, it'll just squirt out fluorescent. Wait, what the hell? Has he... Oh my gosh, from my point of view, the squid escaped. Okay, yeah, so it'll shoot out like fluorescent ink. This ink, like if you kill a squid, it'll drop ink sacs, which can be used for these signs right here. So as you can see, this is a normal sign with no dye. If you add, I'm using lime dye for this, it'll make it colored. Probably a lot of you already know this, but I didn't know it till I like looked up the update and found out you could do this. And if you apply glow squid ink, it'll, like as the name implies, the text will start to glow. So I've done this in a variety of different colors here just to demonstrate what it'll look like. So the original color should be in the middle, just a little bit brighter. Then it'll be an outer color that'll be a darker variant. A thing I forgot to mention about these axolotls is when they are out of water, they have a time limit on how long they can survive. So for Mojang, I'm pretty sure it's 6,000 ticks, which I have no idea how fast that is in seconds. As well as a bunch of new mobs, Mojang have decided to add tons of new blocks. We have a bunch of Lush Cave blocks here, from the plants to the plants, or plants I guess. The Crystal Geode, which I'll show you later. More, oh, I forgot to include the flower over there, but this is a Spore Blossom. So even if I go away from here, you can see in the air, there are these green particles that'll just be around the Spore Blossom to give it more atmospheric effect. Here are the raw material blocks. So if I mine iron now, it will drop these right here. And the cool thing about this is you can use fortune on iron, gold, and the new block copper now. I will be testing out, okay. I'll be testing out how much of these ores drop when you mine them with fortune on netherite pick. Okay, so I've put how many blocks here? I'll put 7 blocks down, and let's see how many you get from 7 blocks with fortune 1. Okay, with fortune 1 and 7 blocks, I got 10 bits of raw gold, 10 bits of raw iron, and 20 raw copper. So it should only be a slight increase with fortune 1. Okay, let's try this with fortune 2. For fortune 2, I seem to have gotten less gold for some reason. 12 iron and 44 copper. Damn. You seem to be able to get a lot of copper really fast in this update. Okay, let's try this with fortune 3. This one I'm hopeful for. I'm pretty sure it should give me 16 gold, 16 iron, and I don't know, let's go for 32, maybe 36 bits of raw copper. Okay, I've got more than expected. I've gotten basically 18 of each of the raw iron and raw gold. They seem to drop at the same rate, and 50 raw copper. So you should be rolling in copper in this update. Well, a big change, there's been very mixed response from the community, is the change on most of the textures in the game. So as you can see, here's the new coal texture. And here is the deep slate variant. There's a new iron texture, deep slate iron. The coal, I don't really like the look of the coal. It's a bit too green, or should be more orange. The gold, it's pretty decent change. I like the redstone and the coal change, and the emerald. I despise the new lapis, just the new lapis block. It looks very pixelated to me. And they haven't changed diamond. All they have done is added a deep slate variant to it. As well as new ores, this update has added deep slate. So these will spawn as little patches in the bottom of your world. So I'll go back into spectator. So yeah, as you can see, there are deep slate patches around the bottom of the world. So yeah, you will find this around bedrock. Okay, well I couldn't find the glitch I was talking about, but now mine shafts will spawn with logs if they're in like an open area like this. I don't know why any haven't spawned to this part right here. So deep slate, there are 5 different variants you can get of it. Deep slate bricks, polished deep slate tiles, which is a new variant of blocks, cobbled deep slate, and the original deep slate, but you can't convert this into bricks. Well, you can convert it into bricks, but there's no brick variant of it, or slabs, or walls, for some reason. There is a new light source that has been added to the game, well actually 2. So there are candles, so every different dye in the game correlates to a candle, as well as the original candle right here, which has a yellow tinge. When I right click these candles, their texture will change to accommodate for the new light source they're giving off, which I think is pretty cool add-on. I really like the magenta one over here. I mean, was like magenta on the top. The one I like the least is probably this, because I have no idea why black turned into bright orange. Our second new light source that's been added to the game is this. So glow lichen. Glow lichen will spawn in cave biomes, just clinging to the walls, and it'll give off a very low light level, but it should help you see better and illuminate these new massive caves that should be spawning around. As well as the new blocks, we have some new items. So we have the glow item frame, which I've used around this snapshot, around this update world. So there's glow item frames, glow squid sacks, glow berries. For some reason you can't get powdered snow as a block, it'll always be in a bucket. There's been a texture change to the compass and to the clock, and a new glass variant has been added as well. Copper is one of the newest blocks to hit the scene in Minecraft 1.17. It was first revealed in, I believe, the first or second snapshot. So copper oxidizes over time. It will take 16 Minecraft days to fully oxidize, and a couple days to hit these 2 stages. There are multiple variants of copper. There is just normal copper, cut copper stairs. I don't believe there is copper stairs. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be copper stairs. There is cut copper slabs, but no copper slabs. I hope they will add a variant for that in the future, but it doesn't seem to be. A thing you can do with copper to stop it from oxidizing is to put honeycomb, which is beeswax, onto it. You'll get the wax on achievement, and as you can see, there is a yellow particle effect that happens all around the block. And if you grab out your netherite axe or any other axe and right click, there'll be white particles and you'll get the wax off achievement, meaning it will go back to oxidizing as per usual. There is another new generation added to the caves update. These are called crystal geodes. I'll show you them in a second once I get through the blocks. So there will be an outer casing of this new block tuff and calcite. calcite basically is like diorite, and this is resemblant of andesite. There will be these amethyst blocks and budding amethyst. Budding amethyst is the only block that these amethyst buds can actually spawn on. And as you can hear, if I break these and place these, they will make a nice little noise as well as walking on them. It's very quiet though, if you were going to walk on them. Which I think is a nice little effect they've added. So there are 4 different stages of an amethyst bud's growth. Or they're called different. They're called buds when they're growing, and they are called a cluster when they are fully formed. When you are to mine a amethyst cluster, they will drop 1 to 2 amethyst shards, which you can use to make into spyglasses, which is a vanilla way of using Optifine Zoom basically. So. Right, where my Zoom is not working because I don't have Optifine open right now. I don't think they ever released a new version for 1.17. But yeah, so it zooms in to this little square. I don't think this will get used too much by the community, basically because it'll be phased out by Optifine. But it's a nice little addition to people who don't want to put mods on their computer. Here is a naturally forming crystal geode. So let me go into creative mode. If I were to mine this, as you can see, there's a layer of calcite and a layer of is this tough? Basalt. Smooth basalt. What happened to tough? I swear it was tough before, but they've added a new block that I didn't even know about till now called smooth basalt that will encase this. So tough, I guess now only exclusively spawns near the bottom of the world with deep slate. I found some naturally spawning tough right here. So yeah, it will spawn next to the bottom of the world, just like diorite, andesite, and granite. Okay, well, I can't seem to get it to work right now, but if I just stand here, these will turn to charged creepers. So yeah, for the first time in ages, we'll be able to make charged creeper farms, which can, oh, there we go. Which can be used to get mob heads in normal vanilla Minecraft. So we go heads right here. You'll be able to get zombie heads, creeper heads, and skeleton heads. World height has also been increased in this update to accommodate for the new the new mountains that should be able to spawn, but I haven't seemed to be able to find around the world. Which will be amazing if you want to make any large builds or build on top of these mountains. Very smart move on Mojang's side there. The only downside about this update is I seem to be finding diamonds everywhere. So I was gliding around the world for only 5 minutes and I found at least a stack of diamonds. Like I flew around in creative mode and found at least a stack of diamonds extremely quickly. So that basically covers most of the things I wanted to talk about with the 1.17 update. That should be it for the video, except I've managed to find out what no one else seems to have found out in this update. A secret that Mojang have managed to slip past everyone except for me, and that is